Hello, I'm Dr. David Hawkins, and today we're going to be talking about how to use a safe place in EMDR. And I'm with Leigh Ann Fernandez, and tell us about this. Tell us, how do you use a safe place in EMDR? I guess we've got a person who's volunteering to participate in this, Charmin Kimbrough.
Yeah, so we're going to demonstrate it to you because it's sort of an experience within EMDR that I think would be important to be viewed as an experience instead of me just explaining it. But in EMDR, we're going back into traumatic memories oftentimes and looking at places where a person didn't feel safe. So the safe place is something that we set up as an exercise at the very beginning of EMDR therapy in order to have the person feel that they have a place to go to in their mind, and even in therapy, outside of therapy even, that they can regain some equilibrium and homeostasis and feel safe and secure in their emotions while they're experiencing EMDR, like even inside the session and also after sessions.
Yeah, you're reminding people that we're moving into some stuff that could create some anxiety or some tension. And so you want to secure a safe place for them and that they have within themselves.
Yeah, it is. It's within themselves, within their mind, within their body. And then some EMDR therapists also call it a container. So it can be a place where we contain safety and also retreat from traumatic memories. Oftentimes with the EMDR session, the things that we're working on are resolved in that session, inside that session. However, sometimes at the end of the session, we run out of time. If we run out of time to resolve the distress that we're working on, we'll end with the safe place so that a person can go back into their life and feel more at peace.
Let's see how it works.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what I'd like for you to do is just remember a time or a place where you felt completely safe, no stress in that spot. It could be an actual place that you've experienced before, or it could be an imaginary place. Sometimes people pick one or the other. But if you can just identify one of those places that you have been, we're going to use some bilateral stimulation with the safe place to strengthen the thoughts and the feelings that go with that.
Okay.
And I'll show you how to do it. But if you'll just identify the place.
Do you need me to say it out loud?
Yeah.
It's in my head.
You can tell me a little bit about it.
Safe place. I would say my safe place when I was a child, one of the places I would go, literally, a lot of times to find safety was just out. I had a place out in one of our back pastures I could go and sit and be away from all the noise and chaos in the home and just be there. So it was quiet and beautiful.
Yeah. So a place outdoors, a place that was private.
Private. Could hear just the birds and the frogs and the crickets and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, and so while we're doing the safe place exercise, I want you to imagine yourself, like take yourself back there like a memory and just play it through like it's a movie.
Okay.
So just kind of think of it as a movie and you're playing it through your head and experiencing the thoughts, the sounds, the smells. I don't know, you said pasture, I don't know.
I grew up on a farm, so
those smells might be comforting. But the sights, the sounds, the temperature even, like picture what you felt like when you were there. And then just the peace of the place. And we can use bilateral stimulation where you tap. I usually do taps with this because it's just less distracting than the eye movements.
okay.
So you can just tap on your legs just like this, or we sometimes do the butterfly hug. This is called the butterfly hug.
Okay.
And then just close your eyes and imagine yourself in that spot. And I'll just enter into it every now and then.
Okay.
So while you're there, just particularly pay attention to how your body is responding to that safe space.
Doesn't matter how fast I tap.
That's good right there.
Okay.
And sometimes when I'm doing this with a client, I'll watch their just their body language change. Sometimes when we begin to exercise, their shoulders are up like this, face is tense. Sometimes you can start to see their body relax. And you feel like your body's changing to kind of mimic how you felt when you were in that place as a child? Okay. And then what I want you to do is just, as you're feeling like you're in that space and just the comfort of that place, I want you to think of a word or a phrase that describes it.
Quiet.
Okay. So as you go into that place again, like you're going through it like you're in a memory, just every now and then say the word quiet. We're trying to pair that word with the feeling.
Quiet. 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 Quiet.
And is there anything that sticks out the most to you, like stands out about the place at this point when you revisit it in this way?
Not necessarily, but what would I be looking for?
Just sometimes like your mind will zero in on, this is the best part of that place. Sometimes it takes it in as a whole.
I think I take it in more
As a whole. Okay. So like as what we're doing with that cue word is, let's say she's going into life at this point, like after the session. She may start experiencing some distress. Maybe child's getting on her nerves, husband is aggravating. She can say that word quiet and it sort of cues up those same bodily feelings. And this can be used years after. Like when I did this in the training for EMDR, my word was breeze and I was at the beach. Even just now when I say that word, I start to feel like a sense of peace and comfort that comes over me. So it can be used for many, many years to come. It's just a place where you can go and cue up feelings of relaxation. The bilateral stimulation really helps you experience that body feeling. And then sometimes if you use that word quiet and it's just kind of lost its association, you can always go back to it and strengthen the association. So it's just an exercise that you can use very quickly. Like you don't have to think your way into relaxation or go into a different room and do this whole exercise. Like it's a quick thing that's a body oriented skill that you can start to use in between sessions, during session, even just to pay someone. Let's say they're in a session that's particularly hard. We can say, okay, let's go to the safe place for a little bit. I think you could use some relief. And sometimes that helps people feel safer to do the EMDR therapy because they have, that place to go to during the session as well.
So the question I would have is, when I was a child, I grew up in a fairly chaotic home. I would get out and away to go to a place that was away from the chaos a little bit. But I found relief in music, in song, and singing more than a safe place. And so more often when I think of a safe place, I'm thinking of a melody. And I can't sing it for you, can't even tell you what it is. I'm thinking when I get to heaven someday, it's going to resonate with heaven. But my safe place isn't necessarily a physical place. It's like in a melody somewhere. Does that make a difference when you're working with people trying to get them to that safe place? Would that be, am I just weird?
No, I think you could actually use that as a safe place. Like you could imagine your safe place and also singing that melody in the safe place. And you could do, like the bilateral stimulation, you could do that while you pair, you know, just the feelings of safety and that melody. And I would bet that you do it anyway without me saying, I think you should do this. But I bet you sing that melody at times and feel it inside of you. And it's part of your coping mechanism.
It was definitely part of my coping.
And isn't that, like, as a child, sometimes the wisdom of a child is, you know, even more profound than what we come up with as adults. Like, you were able to calm yourself in that chaos with a simple song.
Yeah.
Thank you both. Thank you, Charmin. Thank you, Leigh Ann. You know, my goodness, so many folks that find us need a port in the storm, a safe place, a place to rest, a place to have peace. So if EMDR might be something that could be helpful to you, and we think it's helpful to so many people, please give us a call. You can contact our center by going to our website, www.marriagerecoverycenter.com. We have a client care team ready to take your calls at 206-219-0145. Give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you and giving you the help that you need.